Back on the beach and it's stunning today. I wish it was like this every day. There's not a cloud in the sky. The moon's out, the air is just so crisp. The atmosphere is just electric right now. It's days like this on the beach that makes me really just feel like there's something magical, mystical and special about living on this planet sometimes. I know it has its problems and I know there's a lot of bad stuff goes on. But when you really look beyond that, put all that to one side and study the good that happens in this life, it really is a wonderful planet. So welcome back to my channel, where I'm going to keep these daily walks going throughout December. Fingers crossed, hopefully, that nothing comes along and derails that. For instance, I'm off to York on Thursday for the Christmas market. I might try and record a little bit of the York Christmas market and add that on the channel. It doesn't have to be continually walking up and down this beach. So let's have another little chat about life. The stuff we get wrong, the stuff we get right, the things that we leave until it's far too late to do anything about it, and the tiny bits of wisdom that we pick up along the way. Just want to thank Rach at Costa Coffee for supplying today's coffee to keep me warm, because the temperature has plummeted a little bit here. About 8 degrees Celsius today as I'll stroll along the beach. But let me tell you something I've learned in my 50s. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has a clue and has it all figured out at 30 years old. If they claim they have, they're just really good at pretending. 30s are not a deadline at the end of the day. I just see them more as now that I'm in my 50s, it was an apprenticeship. You know, they are the years when you try things, you break things, you fix things, and then you try things again. It's the decade of trying things. The most important things in my life didn't happen until I was well into my 40s. You know, the growth, the changes, the experiences, and it has to be said, even some of the more meaningful friendships that have came into my life. So if you feel behind at 30, you're definitely not behind. You are literally an apprentice and you're just warming up. Come down onto this beach generally most days around about 3 p.m. and for good reason. A, I'm busy most of the day and it's the first time I get to come down here, but mainly I would say because it's deserted. There's not many people here at 3 p.m. Most people are either busy on school runs, still at work if I'm honest. Just bliss. I mean, this is a huge beach, but there's hardly anybody here right now. It's just me, Ella, 2 or 3 other dog walkers in the whole vast expanse of this beach that I can see ahead of me. Just look at that. Heading up towards the sand dunes. There's nobody here. And that is the reason why I come here at this time. Honestly, you have no idea how difficult it can be just to come down onto a beach like this and record yourself. All the stuff you've got to bring. I'm struggling to carry everything today, especially when you put a coffee into the mix. It's beginning to feel a lot like winter because this is so crisp. It's unbelievably nice right now. It's a bit cool, about 8 degrees. Let's do a date, time and temperature check. It's the 2nd of December, Tuesday. It's around 3:30 p.m. and it's about 8 degrees, 7 degrees maybe, but there's not an ounce of wind. It's perfect. It's perfect for a beach walk. The only downside is I forgot my blooming gloves. I've left them in the car. And I thought you'd think, because I'm holding a coffee, thank you very much Rachel by the way for supplying today's coffee, that it would warm my hands up. But it's one of these Yeti vacuum flasks, so it's cold. If anything, it's making my hands more cold. The coffee, the liquid inside, is what's hot. The moon just looks so perfectly clear right now. The sun's setting over there in the distance. And there's the colour of the sky where the sun's setting right now. I'd like to try and do one of these videos every day in December, well certainly up to Christmas Day. That's the challenge I've set myself, but I think it's going to be a little bit tricky in places because there's some days set aside where I'm out and about. Like this Thursday in 2 days time I'm heading into York, the big historic touristy city near here where I live, which is an hour away in the car or in the train. And I do tend to frequent York quite often for the history stuff. So I have a second YouTube channel where I've done a lot of videos on some of the history from that remarkable historical city. This is just my personal channel where I like to keep any of the non-history, any of that side of things off that channel, because I was told you can't really mix the two because YouTube wouldn't know who to put the videos out to. It doesn't anyway, but yeah, you've got to keep it separate, hence why I've started this channel here. Now today I want to open up a little bit to you and talk a little bit about health, and in particular my health. Now I've alluded to a health condition that I've currently got, which I'm suffering from massively at the moment. Now when a chap gets to a certain age, i.e. 50s, the gland down there, the prostate, starts to grow. It's got a life of its own. It gets bigger for some bizarre unknown reason. Who knows, but it does. And as it gets bigger, what it does is it squeezes on the tube, the pipes that your pee comes out of. So it's just a nightmare. It makes me want to go to the toilet constantly, several times through the day, several times at night, and it's just so disruptive to your pattern of life. Now mine's actually infected at the moment. I've got what's called prostatitis, I believe, which is just an infected prostate. So if it's not enough having an enlarged prostate, I now have to deal with having an infected prostate. It's probably a little bit TMI for you right here, but we're all human. As we grow, we all have ailments to suffer. We all have things, our crosses to bear. It could be a lot worse. But when it comes to prostates for men, we automatically assume the worst anyway. We suddenly think, prostate cancer, because you do. Now the thing is, with prostate cancer, there are pretty much no symptoms in the early stages, so you wouldn't even know you've got it. Hence why they're trying to promote PSA screening in the UK. And it's not something that they offer. If once you hit 50, every 2 years, they check you for bowel cancer. A kit comes through your door, you send a sample off, and they let you know how your bowel is. They don't do that with prostate. And it's remarkable that they don't, because it's the biggest cancer killer of men in the UK. More men get prostate cancer than any other cancer. So why don't they do something about it and screen blokes? But they just don't. Of getting here later and later at the moment. I'm going to lose the light again. I need to get here, however insane that, I do need to get here earlier. But the colours right now are spectacular. We've got a beautiful moon over the sea here, and the colours of the sky where the sun's going down, it's just, the air is so crisp. Winter has 100% arrived in the UK, and when the temperature's like this, I don't like winter when it's just rain and wind and you can't do anything. Cold's fine. If it's just cold like this and there's no wind, this is what winter is for me, because all you need to do is put a hat on, get your gloves, which I've blooming left in the car, so my fingers are starting to freeze, and you can go out and you can just enjoy the cold and breathe in the cold air. It does wonders for the body, it really does. So if you live in a cold climate, this is one of the advantages of being in a cold climate are the winters, because the atmosphere is so rarefied and just so crisp, and just, you know, that winter air where you breathe it into your lungs and it just feels intoxicating, and it feels like you're clearing out all the toxins from your lungs. Well, that's how it feels down on the beach here tonight. It's just absolutely stunning being here right now. I just love wandering up and down this beach, and I come here at this time because there's nobody else here. You know, kids are coming out of school, so a lot of parents are on school runs, a lot of people are still working. If you're fortunate enough to be flexible with your working hours, you can do things like this. You can take advantages of the less busy times and bring your dog or bring your body, get your steps in, come down onto a beach and just embrace it and take it all in. I'm going to try and do a video every day all the way through to the 25th, through to Christmas Day. Kind of like Advent, isn't it? Advent videos. The problem with that, I've got some trips out planned, so it might be a bit tricky. Like this Thursday, I'm heading into York, the historical, stunning city that's an hour down the coast here, where I love going to tell you all the history stuff over on my other YouTube channel. I don't put any of the history stuff on here that much because I try and keep it separate. So if you're into history, ghosts, mystery, that type of thing, I have a channel it's doing okay. It's not fantastic. It hasn't set the world alight. One of my videos on York has nearly 9,000 views. The rest of them, the majority of them, they're lucky if they break 400. But I'm not doing it for that. I do it because I enjoy it. It's a little hobby of mine. I always saw myself as a bit of a history professor, stroke history presenter, and that's what I try and do. I try and bring history to life on my other YouTube channel. I'll put a link into, well, there's always a link in for it anyway in the description below. So go and check that out if you're interested in history. This is always just going to be my personal channel where I just wax lyrical about the first things that come into my mind as I'm wandering around. So this is my ad lib channel where I just talk about inane stuff really. I'm desperately trying to bring my 10th anniversary version of my Everest book back out next year. I just don't know if it's going to happen. If I'm really honest, I haven't fully got hold of the marketing yet, but it's a different world. It's different to how things were in 2016. When I came back from Everest in 2015, I had a large following on social media, which I was able to tap into to help crowdfund the original version of the book. Those days are long gone. We're in a different world. Times have changed, times are different. It's harder to promote things, I think. Well, it's easy to promote things, but it's hard to promote them in the right way. I don't know the best way to promote this crowdfund. And it's not really a crowdfund, if I'm honest. It's a pre-order for the book. I'm asking people to buy the book. So I've sold 2 of my projected 300. This is a long way to go, as you can plainly tell. Oh, the moon reflecting off the sand there.